Hello, caregivers. If you're anything like me, you might be in complete denial that Thanksgiving is already next week. Today is November 15th, 2018, and I just have not been accepting, even though the day after Halloween I went to the store and Christmas trees were already out. I'm not okay with that, with the holiday creep. But the fact is, Thanksgiving is next week. And so it would seem like it's time to talk about the holidays since the official holiday bombardment is upon us. When you're a dementia caregiver, the holidays can feel harder. You're seeing everyone else's cheer and joy, but maybe you're kind of just recognizing that it's not the holidays as usual, and it feels really different for you, and it can feel really emotional. So I just wanted to take some time today to talk about ways to not only manage the holidays, but to maybe even find ways to enjoy the holidays as a dementia caregiver. So let's jump in. If you will bear with me, let's try something new today. All right, here we go. So at the top of the list is, really needing to manage expectations, and making adjustments. And so these are, your expectations, your family's expectations, even your loved ones' expectations. As you're making plans, really take some time to think through what will be realistic, what will actually be enjoyable for you, what is manageable, and what is doable. With the holidays, we often have a lot of traditions that people are really invested in, and we might have an expectation of what it's been like in the past or how it should be, what a perfect holiday looks like. But I really want to encourage you to give yourself permission to let go of any rigid expectations and be willing to redefine what makes a good holiday together. And really allow yourself to also create new traditions if some of the things that you usually do feel like too much, or if they're too much for you stress-wise, or if they're just too much for your loved one with dementia to handle. For example, if you always attend midnight mass or a Christmas Eve candlelight service, but you know that your loved one doesn't do well in crowds, tends to be more agitated later in the day, maybe goes to bed early, might feel disoriented in a dark church, or you're just not willing to face the fire hazard, consider adjusting to something that they can manage. Maybe finding a service that you can watch online, lighting candles at home and singing some favorite songs, having a family member read the Christmas story, kind of focusing on the spirit of the tradition and then making adjustments to find ways that it can still work for you. And you can definitely assume that the unexpected will happen. So the more you can prepare yourself to be flexible, to kind of go with the flow, and to just really stay focused on the big picture, the more manageable things will be for you. That what is the point in general about holidays? It's about being together, about connecting, about celebrating the things that, kind of are at the core of your family, the values that you have. So if there's anything that feels upsetting or stressful, it's okay to think about letting it go and to really focus on keeping things manageable. And so as you're considering different events through the holiday season, here are some questions to consider as you're making your plans. Can you look ahead and anticipate what is going to be the thing that drains you of time, energy, patience, any other resources? And are there ways that you can make accommodations to minimize that drain, to kind of smooth the way? So if being responsible for hosting and cooking a meal is going to be too much, can you make it a potluck? Can you ask somebody else to host? If doing something in the evening is too difficult, can you schedule for earlier in the day instead? Like in my own family, for the last 2 years, we've opted to do Christmas brunch instead of our traditional Christmas dinner because it's much easier for everyone. And we all still get to be together to celebrate. And it really, like, the ham and the side dishes, like, that's not the point of Christmas. Like, those things are delicious and we love them. But the point is that we all get together and share time together, and being together in the morning is just a lot easier for us. And similarly, like, if having everyone together is overstimulating for you or for your loved one, thinking about breaking it up into smaller gatherings, or planning to arrive late or leave early, or building in like a quiet space where your loved one can get away for a nap or just a breather. And also think about, what do others need to know? What information can you give them to help them adjust with you? Can you kind of let them know if there have been changes or behaviors that might be unexpected that they haven't seen before? Maybe even like a cheat sheet, or giving them a few tips to communicate, because for a lot of people, if they haven't had experience of someone with dementia, it can be an adjustment to try to figure that out. And think through, the traditions that are important to you, and try to pick one or two that you want to focus on and that you really want to work on, making adjustments and accommodating, so that you can bring the spirit of those traditions out. And then where do you need to gently remind yourself to let go, so the spirit of what you want the holidays to really be about doesn't get lost in the stress? And really, as you think about the holidays, just simplify wherever you can. So as we said, like with cooking, if you can switch to potlucks or pre-made meals, restaurant meals, takeout, delivery, delegating cooking responsibilities, do it. Simplify gift giving by, drawing names or giving gift cards, kind of doing a family gift where everyone gets the same thing, or making a donation in the name of your family, buying everything online, giving someone a list of things to get for you, whatever it takes to make it easier. Cut back on decorating, to a level that's manageable and to something that's enjoyable to you. Like, it really doesn't take all that much to make it feel like Christmas. And so you get to decide. For me, I've had years where my Christmas decorations was a bowl of ornaments on the coffee table, or a pre-bought tiny tree that sits on the dining room table. Or even one year, it was just cards that we received got lined up on the mantle, and that was it. But it was enough to just feel like, this is manageable and this is doable. And the same goes for activities and events. Accept invitations for what you think you'll enjoy. Give yourself permission to say no. Really just thinking about, like, what's going to drain you and what are you really going to enjoy. And the holidays are often a time of visiting, which can come with stress of its own. It's okay to turn down invitations or to tell others that it's not a good time for them to come visit. Even if someone shows up on your doorstep unexpected, it's okay to say it's not a good time or to suggest a better time. If you're hosting visitors, rather than having them come for meals, or if there's something that you've always done and you're used to doing, it's still okay to simplify it and to have them come over for cookies and coffee or just for a visit. And if a visit is going on too long and you're noticing that your loved one is getting agitated or needs a break, it's okay to cut a visit short, whether you're at their house or they're at your house. Like, it's really okay to draw boundaries for yourself and to stand by them. And in all of this, to really just focus on what is most meaningful and give those things your time and energy. Because your time and energy are precious and in limited supply.